My name is Shannon, and I am the Executive Director for the National Capital Area Chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
So what inspired you to get involved with this mission?
I had a personal struggle when I was in college, and this was many, many years ago, and at the time, I didn't know what was out there to support me. In fact, I didn't even have the words or the knowledge to identify what it was that I was experiencing. And so many years later, when I found the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I started reading about what they do, what the mission is, the resources, the programs, all of a sudden it was like all the dots were connecting and the stars were aligning, and I could start to identify even what had happened within myself. And so I was really inspired because I never want someone who's struggling to go through what I went through, because I didn't know at the time that there were resources. I didn't know that there was help, and I never want that to be the case for anyone else. And so I am inspired every single day for what we do to serve our community and our mission to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide.
Can you tell me a little bit about your chapter?
Yeah, so the National Capital Area Chapter is one of 74 chapters all across the country. So no matter where you're seeing this from, you can connect with AFSP through our website at afsp.org and find a chapter near you. But the National Capital Area Chapter serves Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. And through our chapter, we are able to bring suicide prevention educational programs to our communities, all of which are evidence-informed and founded in research. And the great thing is that through events like the Manassas and Prince William Out of the Darkness Walk, what we're doing here today, we're able to fund not just the research that develops these programs, but we're also able to provide all of these programs and resources to our community at no cost. So no matter where you are, or who you're with, we will come to you. We will come to your school. We'll come to your business, your community group, your game of worship, you name it. We can bring these programs and resources to you at no cost. We also have programs in support for survivors of suicide loss, because we know that that's a very complicated type of grief, and we want to make sure that no one is experiencing a loss in silence or feeling like they're the only person who's ever lost a loved one to suicide. And so we have events like our International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day, which is coming up on November 18th. And we are hosting many, many events for Survivor Day to support that community and to bring people together and honor their loved ones lost. We also advocate at the national, state, and local levels, basically working with hundreds of thousands of volunteer advocates locally and all across the country to basically reach out to our elected officials and say, hey, you should care about this and make mental health and suicide prevention a priority. And so we identify different policy priorities that we identify that we know if we get these laws passed, we can save lives. And so we reach out to our elected officials and we ask them to support different bills and laws, and that we know that we will save lives through getting them passed. And so an example of that is 988. 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It is available 24/7, 365. And so if you dial 988, you can connect with a mental health volunteer or mental health professional on the other end who is there to support you at any time, to get you resources, help, or just to talk if you need it. So please, if you or a loved one is in crisis, or you just want to learn more about suicide prevention and what you can do to support a loved one, you can always reach out to 988, and that is something that AFSP is really proud of, that we helped support getting that bill passed, and now it is available in all 50 states and Washington, D.C.
And along with helping so many people, what do you do to help your own mental health?
So things I do to take care of my own mental health is I work very, very much because I'm so passionate and I love my job so much. But when I am not at work, I really try to unplug and get off screens. And I've got two little ones. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and it means the world to me when I'm able to be present with my children and just spend time with them. I get down on the floor and I play with them, or we go on walks and we try to get out and be active and go on different adventures, and just being really present and unplugging truly helps me, because that's a hard thing for me to do. Like, I am very attached to my email and my cell phone, and so really forcing myself to just log off and be there with my loved ones does everything for me.
Last thing I want to ask is, what advice would you give anyone who's going through a tough time?
I would definitely encourage you to reach out, and whatever that means to you. Reaching out to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can always reach out to the crisis text line, which is 741-741. You can also just reach out to a loved one, somebody that you trust, and just share what you're going through. And it's okay to ask for help. It is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness to ask somebody else for help. And so I really want to tell you that there is hope. There is so much possibility. You are important. We want you here, and we want to support you. And so please, please, please connect with afsp.org. You can find lots of resources and more information to support you through whatever your journey and your connection to suicide may be.
How can people reach out and learn more?
Go to afsp.org. Again, that's afsp.org. From there, you can find resources, information, support, connect with the local chapter, you name it. It is so much. It's a plethora of information on our website. And so all accessible. Please, please, please visit afsp.org.